Greetings to all of my lovely followers out there on the Electric Avenue video channel. Coming to you from Control Central here. A lot going on this week. I got a lot to get to. I'm going to try and make this as brief as I can. I feel like we're in the middle of October 2021 now. I feel like this is sort of the kind of kickoff of the Christmas season for us. You know, I walked into the post office this morning to ship some orders out, and I noticed all the Christmas display was out. And I, of course, said something, and the postal worker was like, Christmas is my most hated time of year. And I'm like, I can kind of sympathize in a way because I've worked in retail for over 25 years now. That dates me. But oh, this youthful glow. Anyway, so I'm kind of used to it at this point. But you know, I still love that time of year. So there's a lot to love about it. But we are in sort of weird times with COVID still kind of out there, even though they say it's going down. I've heard of more cases in my area springing up this week than I have in a while. So I don't know if that's just people being more sort of like careless or, you know, the news changing people's opinions. The other thing is I wanted to kind of address the supply chain. And you see all these ships out in the harbor in New York and LA just waiting to be unloaded. And look at that stuff and I go, oh my God, there's all those like blah, blah, blah that we're waiting for. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, people say, well, have you had supply chain interruptions? And I'm like, have we ever? I mean, you know, I just started getting things like Green Day's Dookie that I hadn't had on a vinyl record since March. So it's nice that some things are finally coming again, but this is going to take a while for us to kind of get back into the regular swing of things. Look, before I also get into everything, I just want to thank everybody for the well wishes for my cat, Gracie, who was, kind of our store mascot in a way, just because she was like the most energetic personality driven cat that I think I may have ever had. And she's a real sweetheart, feisty, um, and not so much at the end, but unfortunately she succumbed to cancer and she wasn't quite 12, so it's hard losing your pets when they're kind of before their time. And I know there are people that have lost animals much earlier than that, but she was a real comfort to my wife, who's been suffering from her own medical illnesses for 4 years now, and especially during the hardest part. And she actually, some of you may not know, but she came to us because we had a friend who was dying of cancer, and it was very sudden. It was like she got her diagnosis and she lived for another 2 or 3 weeks. And it was kind of one of those things where I felt such loss for this person, or, you know, sympathy, that I said, I'll take your cat for you if you can't find a home for her. And she was only 6 at the time, this cat, and I thought, oh, she's going to be with us for like 10 years at least, because she was so energetic and crazy, but such a lovable cat. And so it was kind of a double loss because you're feeling like the loss of your friend again, too. So anyway, enough grieving. I mean, it's going to take a while, obviously. So, but thank you everybody who's been so kind about that. All right, so let's get on to new releases. I don't do unboxing because I feel like for me, it takes so much time, and it's like you're just waiting there for me to do, show you what is coming out of the box. So I kind of get them organized as much as possible, and I'm going to go boom, boom, boom through this stuff. So I think the big thing this week, you can see it, is the Let It Be box set, Beatles. So this monstrosity, no, it's great, is a 5 LP edition with new mixes by Giles Martin and Sam Okell. It's the album itself plus 2 LPs of outtakes, jams, rehearsals, and studio chat, plus the Get Back album, 1969 mix by Glenn Johns and the Let It Be EP. Half speed mastered, Abbey Road. This includes a 100-page book. And there is also a separate book that I believe is out on store shelves now. But This is like, I think a lot of people are like, oh my God, we're finally going to get the Get Back album, which is really cool that they put that Glenn Johns 1969 mix in here. Some people who are Beatles fans who've heard some of that, obviously think it's superior to what actually came out as Let It Be. So, and then there's the CD edition too, which is a little bit slimmer side to side, but it's still pretty thick as the other. And this is a 6-disc edition, so then you're wondering what's the difference. It has a Blu-ray Dolby Atmos and 5.1 and PCM stereo edition, which is of definite interest to some people. So those are in the 130, 140 to $200 range, I think. So I'm not going to have them here just all the time. So if there's something that you want, you may want to let us know so you can either have one reserved or pre-order, whatever. I've been saying that for a while, and actually they kind of screwed up some of my shipment, and some of the vinyl boxes are still coming and didn't come today. So I'll take care of who I can take care of in whatever order you put your pre-orders in. But the other two things, there's the single album, just Let It Be, the new remaster, the new mix, which would be cool if you're not such a fan that you need the entire box set. There's also a cool picture disc, which I think is maybe an indie store exclusive. I'm not 100% sure, but you know, picture discs, people complain about them sometimes, but I don't know. I mean, generally the sound is better than they were back in like the 70s and 80s. So as long as you take care of them, and they're not as good as maybe the regular sound wise. But all right, another big release this week, completely different, is Mac Miller. This is the Faces mixtape, and so this is a 3-record set, I think, yes, and tricolor edition. Some of you will be like, I don't even know who Mac Miller is. That's understandable. I'll just say that Mac is probably one of the top 3 biggest artists right now, sales-wise for me, for artists that are under age 25. We're under age 25. Mac passed away a couple years ago. It was very tragic. He was from Pittsburgh, so he's a Pennsylvanian. And he was kind of a rapper, singer, but did sort of it all. I mean, he kind of almost got jazzy on his last work. He was working with John Bryan, who works with like Fiona Apple and people like that. So he sort of started more in hip hop. This is a 2014 release mixtape that he did that was kind of one of the things that got him really noticed. And I think a lot of fans are going to be looking for that. And this is the colored vinyl edition. So as you can see here, it says tricolor. And so these are super limited. Like I think I ordered 40, 50 maybe, and got like 10. So get out and get them quickly if you're interested. I'm just saying. All right, on to other things. There's a new Coldplay album, Music of the Spheres. This has their 10-minute track Coloratura on it. They're still Coldplay, but I think, they're trying to be a little more like, I don't know, they're very much into the whole space kind of thing right now, which is very timely with all these people ejecting themselves into space for 3 minutes or whatever. But anyway, it's got the song Higher Power on it. Let's see. Lucinda Williams last year did a whole series of recordings on digital that or streaming that were, some were dedications to certain albums and others were music of certain time periods. So she did Tom Petty, Bob Dylan, the Rolling Stones. Then she did covers, sort of songs of the 60s that were country, that were kind of slightly edgy, songs of the 70s that were more like Muscle Shoals kind of soul funk, like southern soul, and then a rock and Christmas album. The Christmas album, the Petty and the 70s soul have been released already on CD and vinyl. The Christmas one is coming. I think I just saw CD. There's probably going to be a vinyl. So this week we get two at the same time, which is Funny How Time Slips Away, a night of country classics. All right, and this 60s country classics. She does songs like Long Black Limousine, I Want to Go With You, Gentle on My Mind, The End of the World, Funny How Time Slips Away, and Take Time for the Tears. So it's kind of a lot of sort of soul searchy kind of country, darker stuff. And then the other one of interest is the Bob's Back Pages, a night of Bob Dylan songs. And this one she does a lot of sort of like not necessarily his most well-known songs, which is kind of cool. She's sort of doing a little deep things like Political World, not well. She does Not Dark Yet, Man of Peace, Blind Willie McTell, but then things like Queen Jane, approximately, Idiot Wind, and ends with Make You Feel My Love. So those might be of interest to people, I think. She's done some great interpretations. Pokey Lafarge, his new album, this is an indie exclusive. It's called In the Blossom of Their Shade. I think he's a great artist. He's a kind of fun, very retro folk sort of soul. I don't know, he's more retro. He reminds me of somebody like at a time, someone like Harry Nilsson or Randy Newman, the way they kind of did that sort of thing. You've got a 21 Pilots reissue. Fueled by Ramen is doing a silver vinyl edition of this for their 25th anniversary as a label. And this is an album, their most popular album, and I've been out of it on vinyl for like 6 months. So it's nice that we finally have access to that, at least for who knows how long they're going to make it. Probably not very long. Nick Lowe, there's another reissue. This is Labor of Lust. Probably one of his most popular, if not his most popular, biggest selling album. This says it combines the UK and US track listings with a rare bonus track. This is the one with Cruel to Be Kind, and it's on pink vinyl. Let's see. Also, Rocktober, Rhino was supposed to be doing a Rocktober series, and so far all we've gotten is the performance Mick Jagger soundtrack, and it's a 1970 cult classic on yellow vinyl. I'm not really sure what happened with the Echo and the Bunnymen records. They might be in at the warehouse now, but they were supposed to be out this week, and they haven't shown up yet. Speaking of other soundtracks, too, we've got Halloween Kills. This is the new soundtrack by John Carpenter, and this is the one that Jamie Lee Curtis is in again. So anyway, Anthony Michael Hall's in it too. The movie comes out this weekend, so if you want the soundtrack, this is I don't know if this is a special the orange vinyl edition. How Halloween. Let's see. Also, if you're going sort of like rock sort of direction, Judas Priest have a collection. This is new, called 50 Heavy Metal Years of Music. And it doesn't really have the stuff that you would necessarily think of like, greatest hits. It does have their live cover of the Green Manalishi, which is a Fleetwood Mac thing. I think this is like a great fan piece. There's actually 7 previously unreleased live tracks, 16 tracks out of their career. So, let's see. Also sort of rock, there's Sammy Hagar's Lockdown record from 2020 featuring Michael Anthony of Van Halen on bass. The other people are Jason Bonham on drums and Vic Johnson on lead guitar. So, that's probably someone pointed out the other day and said, we can really tell which ones you aren't as interested in because you say that might be of interest to some people. So anyway, that might be of interest to you. Also, Blackstone Cherry, a reissue of their album Kentucky, and this is transparent vinyl. So let's see, speaking of Hill music, Billy Strings. We got the CD of this a week or so ago. Renewal, it's his new album. This is limited Coke bottle clear edition. I was told that this might be the only copy of this that we see. This was actually produced by Jonathan Wilson, too, and Billy Strings. If you're not familiar with Jonathan, you might want to look him up. He's got some great stuff. Let's see. One of my favorite records of the year, Utopian Ashes by Bobby Gillespie and Jenny Beth. Bobby is the lead singer of Primal Scream, Jenny Beth of Savages, and it's sort of like a throwback to a Lee Hazelwood, Nancy Sinatra kind of divorce record, sort of retro, I guess, sort of late 60s kind of. It's very sad, but it's a very good record. And speaking of picture discs, Amy Winehouse, Back to Black. I know Amy fans will probably want this. It's first time on picture disc, so it might be something that interests you. I don't get me wrong, I love Amy Winehouse, so that's somebody that you can say, oh, he definitely meant that. Colin Hay of Men at Work. This is on a mystery colored vinyl. It's called I Just Don't Know What to Do with Myself. He covers things like Waterloo Sunset, Wichita Lineman, Norwegian Wood, Can't Find My Way Home, Across the Universe. So songs that Colin really likes and wants to put out there. And then there's a couple of Christmas things I got to get to here too. This was kind of a surprise announcement. Norah Jones has a new Christmas album called I Dream of Christmas, and it's sort of a mix of favorites and originals. And anyway, I can't wait to hear it. I think she's the perfect candidate for interpreting Christmas music. And, he doesn't seem to be doing so well today, but he's still trucking along, Tony Bennett. And he's 95 now. Here's his Christmas album from, I think it was from around 1998, maybe late 80s. This album actually had different cover art at one time. It's his Christmas one. And it's remixed and remastered, and it features Tony's original holiday artwork, which I think is much better than the original. They had sort of a picture of him kind of standing in this canned sort of looking snowstorm. A couple of things that I showed this before maybe, is the silver foil holiday edition of the Charlie Brown Christmas that just came out. We're going to have plenty of Charlie Brown Christmas, I hope, this year, because there's also a Record Store Day Essentials version that just came out. So there's two to choose from. You've got the one with the silver foil. This one actually is a peppermint colored vinyl, and these are super limited. And yeah, Record Store Day, somehow they're getting involved with pressing records now too. I don't know how I feel about that, but I mean, I guess they need to do what they need to do to stay viable. And if that's what they need to do, then they're going to do that. Okay. Let's see, there's a few other things here I just want to show that are kind of more CD based. There's the new Yes album, The Quest. This is Steve Howe's Yes, not the John Anderson one. This has had all sorts of like shipping issues, and it's finally kind of here. This is the limited 2 CD and Blu-ray edition, but if you're just more modest and you want the CD, there's a 2 CD edition of this, much cheaper, like $40 cheaper. Yeah, so, and for some reason these kind of got shorted on shipping too, so not surprising, shipping problems. David Crosby, a reissue of his album, I can never, if I can remember my name, I think that's what it's called. I can never remember the title of this album. It's probably his most quintessential album solo. And the vinyl was delayed for 2 weeks, so it is on the way. It's just not here yet. Another one that I think the record doesn't come out till next year, is Tom Morello's new album. The reason that this might be of note, besides him being a member of Rage Against the Machine, is the second song is a cover of Highway to Hell, featuring Bruce Springsteen and Eddie Vedder. So, yeah, if you're a fan of either of those guys. Stuart Copeland's new record, CD, with Ricky Kedge. I'm not sure who that is, but sort of looks kind of world music-y. So if you're into Stuart, you might be of interest have interest there. New Santana CD, and again, I think the vinyl is coming later. This is called Blessings and Miracles, with Rob Thomas, Chris Stapleton, Steve Winwood, Kirk Hammett, and more. I see Chick Corea mentioned, Corey Glover. So I think this is a little bit more like a balanced kind of record between what he was doing with Rob on Smooth 20 years ago and his more sort of artistic side. And then there's a Melvin CD, all acoustic, 30 songs on 2 CDs. Apparently, it's called Five-Legged Dog. They say it's 2.5 hours long. So I guess you got to be a real committed Melvins fan for that. OMD releases Architecture and Morality, the singles. So these are the 3 singles from the album Souvenir, Joan of Arc, and Maid of Orleans. Probably one of my favorite albums of theirs, top 3 or something like that. But these are the singles, so it's the singles that came off of it and then the B-sides and things like that. This is available on vinyl for like $60, but if you want it, you're going to have to let me know because I probably won't have that in the store. I would be remiss if I did not show, again, Bill Shatner's latest CD, Bill. 90-year-old blowing himself into outer space, and now he's going to remind us how great it was all the time. So anyway, this has people: Joe Walsh, Joe Jonas, Brad Paisley, Robert Randolph, John Lurie, Joan as Policewoman, Daniel Miller, Dave Koz. Those are the guest stars on that. Quite the hodgepodge of guest stars. But Bill has been sort of busy with his solo career for the last couple years. He's got a Christmas album out called Shatner Claus that we've had at different times on different pressings, different CDs. But this is an actual major label album. This is on Republic, which is like Universal's giving it the gold stamp. So great. Last thing I wanted to show today, and then I'm going to just talk for a couple of minutes, is the Tears for Fears Seeds of Love box set. And the reason, this is a CD set, the reason that I am showing this, and I believe this one is spoken for, but there's a few more at my distributor. I tried to get that album, this box set, about a year ago when it was supposedly released. And here we had the largest distributor in the U.S. who couldn't get their hands on it. And apparently there were manufacturing problems. I mean, we were during like COVID and lockdown. And then here one day it just sort of shows up. So, I mean, this is the weird stuff that we're dealing with, right? So anyway, there might be a few of them out there still. And they did announce a new album coming out in February. Same day as the new Soft Cell album, 25th of February. All right, so next week we know there's like Rolling Stones reissue of box of Tattoo You, My Morning Jacket, Parquet Courts, Duran Duran, Lana Del Rey, John Coltrane live, Nick Cave box, White Stripes reissues, lots of stuff. The following week, War on Drugs, and then again a bunch of stuff. November 5th, Radiohead reissue of Kid A and Amnesiac, ABBA's first album in 40 years, Black Keys, El Camino Deluxe, Billy Joel's box set, albums from Nathaniel Rateliff, Amy Mann, Snail Mail, Art Blakey has a reissue. November 12th, Nirvana, the 2 LP reissue of Nevermind, the box is next year. Silk Sonic, the Bruno Mars collaboration with Anderson .Paak was announced as November 12th. November 19th is Adele's new album was just announced. Robert Plant and Alison Krauss is that day. Got a live Springsteen. The following week, November 26th, Black Friday Record Store Day. David Bowie box set. And then into December, Neil Young, Crazy Horse Barn for December 10th. And Prince, no box set announcement yet. I don't know if that's coming this year or not, so... Anyway, all right, I'm already sort of running long. I knew this was going to be a long video, so thank you very much. Thanks for all your well wishes. It means a lot, and I'll see you soon. Have a great weekend. Get your Beatles. All right, Christmas is coming. You got to start shopping early. That's what they're saying, right? I'm warning you. It's going to be a problem, so do it when you can. All right. Take care.